there, Geanie Beans. Welcome back to my channel. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe only if you want to, because you really don't have to. I'm just glad you're watching the video in the first place. So as you can see, we're going to clean these bad boys using these products. Besides one that I left in the bathroom, I forgot to bring it out. Hey, Barbie. But yeah, we're going to get into the nitty gritty. Now with some of my brushes, you can tell that they're kind of broken up from like previous washes, and they kind of like have broken down, but they're still doable. What the hell is that in the brush? Oh yeah, girl, we got to get it together. But yeah, they still function, so that's why I still use them. So the first thing I did, these little things are like candle holders, but I use them because they hold the brushes upright, and I put some hot water in there, and I'm going to use the Dr. Bronner's peppermint soap. Now, if you see here, it has a lot of oils in it, so that's what kind of, you know, strips it, but then still kind of cleanses the brushes in a way. So I like to use this, and you see this a lot. A lot of people use this. And I just pour it in. You really don't need that much, but I be ODing. And they do say to use lukewarm water, but you know I'm a rebel. And I mix it up. You can use a spoon. I decided to use a knife because I'm ratchet. And one by one, I'm going to put the brushes in face down. Now you see the water is not that high, so the water doesn't go above where the brush connects to the, I guess, the rest of the brush. Y'all know what I'm saying. It's just basically the head that's in the water. I'm going to be mindful of that. I kind of swish them around in the water and make sure that, you know, all the bristles are kind of in there to start the soak process. And then I'm going to leave it in there for at least about 10 to 20 minutes. The longer, the better. And you just keep on swishing it around. Then I'm going to move to the beauty sponges. So I pour the soap right onto the sponges. The sponges are not wet. And I kind of like massage it around so that the sponge can absorb the soap inside. And I also like doing this because it reminds me of, like, you know, being a kid and painting and stuff and like preschool and shit, making a whole bunch of mess. So I do that, and you see I do it twice, rub it in, and then I'm going to place the sponges again in the hot water. Now I know they say to use lukewarm water, but like I said, I just feel like using hot water, it just cleans it better. So do what you feel is right. Don't stick your fingers in hot water. Instead, use your knife that you have, and mix it on down. I started literally stabbing the freaking sponge. Don't ask me what I'm doing. I don't know. But I was just trying to mix it in there really good. Of course, they're going to float, but I have a cute little technique that kind of works. So stay tuned. So now I have another little candle container, and I'm going to use this rose oil that I use for everything. I got from Five Below. You guys know I love this. And I don't have as much water in this, and I'm going to put a few drops in there. I think I put about like 5 drops because I'm ridiculous. And then after I do that, I'm going to use some witch hazel and use a generous amount of witch hazel and pour that in there as well. Now, this whole process is just something that after I wash, it's going to make my brushes shine, girl. I mean, sparkle. And by the time it gets to this point, there shouldn't be any makeup really on it. If there is, this step will take it off, but really I don't want like any makeup left on my brushes before it gets to this. I also put some rose water. Now this is homemade rose water, and you want to put a little bit, like, just a drop. You don't have to have homemade rose water, obviously. You can get rose water anywhere, but make sure you put a little bit because rose water is scented. I just think it makes my brushes smell good at the end. And just to be clear, you don't really need the rose water, but it's just something that I do. So if you want to use it, you can. So now we've come to the rinsing stage, and this is lukewarm water that I'm using. You see my container right there, and I'll just pick one of my victims. I think they sat for about 15 minutes, not too long. And I'm going to run the brush under the water. I don't know. This is so satisfying to me, just watching all that makeup just run out. And I'm going to start playing around with it with my fingers. I don't have one of those mats that go on the bottom of the sink, but if you have that, that definitely works too. Then I'm going to use Dow antibacterial soap. It's very gentle, but then it's going to get all that bacteria that's in between the brushes. Now watch this, girl. One pump. I use one pump and swirl it around. And look, they were still in there. all that Fenty Beauty, all that Juvia's Place, y'all need to go right now. I need to restart. And try to keep your brush like leveled down. You see how I twisted it up like that? Yeah, try not to do that if you can help it. Look at me, see? Because then the water seeps back. So y'all get the idea. Rinse, and then I put the dial soap in there, spin it around on my fingers some more, and then rinse until I can see no makeup. That's so important. You don't want to see any more makeup coming out of the brush as you rinse. So this is the real important part. And you see, I even use the back of my hands. It's like I'm painting my hand, girl. I don't know. I be having fun when I do this. Now, look at all the dirt. Oh my gosh, girl. Like, to the point where, ew. Actually, I think that's my thing melting. I think that's the coloring melting in my, what you call it? Because the water is hot. But still, it's nasty, okay? It's gotta go. It's gotta go. Brushes are in the container, and I'm gonna move over and show you the trick with the beauty sponge that I was telling y'all about. So it's been sitting in there for a while, so it has a lot of water in it, and I'm gonna squeeze the water out and just drop it. And it sinks! Oh my God, it's magic! Ow! Now we're coming to my condition solution, whatever you wanna call it. And we're gonna put each brush in there face down like we did with the other one. And this is actually gonna sit for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, but honestly, the longer it sits, the better. That's what I always say. Look at how shiny it already is, girl. Girl. We winning, honey. We are winning in these streets, okay? Now to the beauty blenders. We're gonna pour all that stuff out. Now, again, like I said, I don't have one of those mats to put on the bottom of my sink, so don't judge me. My sink is clean. Don't judge me. And this is lukewarm water again. I'm squeezing and then I'm rinsing. Then I'm squeezing and then I'm rinsing. After I rinse to the point where I don't see any more makeup, then I actually put a few pumps of the Dial soap on there and kind of mix it around. And then I put a few more pumps inside the container with hot water. Girl, sponges are processed. And then I'm just gonna drop those sponges on in there again. You can see they're already looking a little bit better, but we need a little bit more time in that hot water, honey. Now, I got this idea from another YouTuber. I forgot her name, but I will leave the link down below and put her name in the video. And this is really smart. I never used to use a towel. That's why half of my freaking brushes are chipped. But this just kind of elevates the brush when it's time to dry so that the water doesn't seep backwards into the handle. And I just take a paper towel, and now it's time to dry. So with the small brushes, I just take them all together, you know what I'm saying? And I just dry them the same way. And at this point, I'm showing you that the paper towel shouldn't have any makeup on it whatsoever. If it does, that means you didn't rinse long enough. And that's how it looks. It still looks pretty. You see a little speck of one of my freaking brushes, the wood chipped off. I need new brushes. Anyway, I line them up just like so, and they're ready to dry. And honestly, to tell you the truth, it's even easier to kind of like turn them over after a few, just so both sides get evenly dry. But look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. I mean, look at those bristles. Look at those bristles, girl. Can you stand it? Can you freaking stand it? I just love it when my brushes look like this, and they smell good too. Back to the beauty sponge. This is cold water now, and I'm doing the same process of squeezing and rinsing and repeat. Squeeze, rinse, and repeat. And if you notice, the water is not brown at all. There should be like no makeup during this process. This is like the final rinse. And after you've done all of that, then you just place them with the rest of your guys, girls, whatever they are. And look, like they look like whole new sponges. Oh my God, girl. You tweaking, girl. Now this one, we still got a little spot there, but I mean, that's natural. The other side looks fleek though. Oh my goodness. Y'all get the point, y'all. Y'all get it. And yeah, guys, that's basically it. So I'm going to let these dry and then show you guys how they look. I let the brushes dry overnight. So this is the next day and this is how it looks. It still has its sheen. It has its shine, honey. It looks like it could still be wet, but it's not. I love it. I love it. I love it. It looks great. Here's my foundation brush, which holds a lot of stuff in there. I do a little bristle test. Yes, honey, it's gorgeous. And on top of that, it smells so good. Like all of my brushes smell like flowers. So that's really the goal here, is for it to shine and smell good. Thank you so much, guys, for watching my video. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to. And I'll see you in the next video. Ciao!
You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway. I've been doing this more than you.
I'm about to go yay. I'm about to go yay. I'm about to go yay. Go fuck what you say. I'm about to go yay. I'm about to go yay.